This is Amelia Dodds, and she's going to be exhibiting and performing at our first physical exhibition after lockdown on May the 27th. Hi, Amelia.
Hi. I'm 22 years old and I'm a dancer in my third year of training. I've had a passion for performing since I started when I was 4. And I also love music and meeting new people.
Amazing. How would you define your dance practice? Kind of like what really attracts you to it?
So I feel like I'm still yet to find like my style of dance. However, I do train in all disciplines, so ballet, tap, jazz, contemporary, commercial, like do a bit of everything at college really. But pre-COVID, I started taking classes in lock-in, and I found that I really enjoyed that because it's more like free in the body, and anything you can really perform over the top, I love. So like musical theatre, jazz as well is a bit of me.
Amazing. So the performance and the photography that you're going to exhibit at LUVA is kind of derived from Bob Fosse's choreography. What attracts you to Bob Fosse and his kind of form as a dancer?
Okay, so his like trademark moves that are like instantly recognizable as him, if you know. His feet and knees like slightly turn inwards, which he discovered like gives the hips a wider range of movement when they're in that position. And you can see that in a lot of his choreographies, like a lot of his pieces have them same movements. And he loves like a splayed hand as well, which is quite interesting as that frames different parts of the body. The quality of his choreography tends to be quite oozy as well, which I find is very empowering when I perform it myself.
Great words. Love that word. How do you think the choreography of the female body has changed since Fosse's like jazz routines into the commercial dance that you kind of study and dance and perform now?
So I think we've come a very long way. Fosse's choreography is suggestive and very coy, and is a total contrast to what I learn today in commercial industry, especially as sex sells. So a lot of the commercial dance we see is like backing dancers on like X Factor or like touring behind music artists. I've learned dances where I'm literally like gyrating on the floor and touching body parts and basically just dancing really provocatively, which would never have been in the 50s at the time when Fosse was choreographing. We've advanced so far, but there's like a thin line between what happens in the bedroom and the dance like on the stage at the moment. I'm okay with it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's empowering like all the same. But it's just come a long way from being like suggestive to explicit.
Yeah, so you're kind of going back to like the nuances and try to like re-unpick those.
Yeah, try to figure out what alters to make the move sexual.
Yeah, how is preparing to perform in a gallery? Because obviously you do like a lot of dance shows in like a conventional stage or, you know, conventional dance space. How has it been preparing for like a gallery?
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what to expect really, because the audience is completely different and it's further away. Like it's going to be a lot more intimate at the gallery and a lot more exposing. But with that in mind, I've choreographed the dance piece. It doesn't travel around the space that much, so the focus is much more on the small changes within the movement. And I've included a lot of repetitions that highlight the pelvis and head alignment. I want the performance to accompany my work and help the viewers make more sense of it, rather than it be like an obvious performance that you would usually see on stage. But hopefully it goes down well.
Yeah, it's part of like a conversation between like the photography and like, yeah, and your performance. And
then, more of a conversational tone.
Yeah, I think
I like that.
Great. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, how have you found working with photography and dance? Have you gained any new perspectives on kind of, you know, seeing your body in different ways and different angles and, you know, in still poses?
I've enjoyed working with the camera. It's something different doing photography with dance. I've enjoyed like moving through the movement and having the camera like snapshot the movement instead of doing static posing. And I feel like it's built my confidence a lot more throughout the whole process. So I started off just taking them in my front room during lockdown, and I was probably a bit awkward without knowing, because it was just me and like a tripod with a camera stood up. But I could tell that my confidence has grown with it when I had my photo shoot just the other day, and I went in there and was ready and had the intention behind the movement as well, and it came a lot easier because I've practiced it, really.
Yeah, how do you think the response will differ from the audience in the gallery setting kind of versus, you know, dancing on stage? Do you think they'll kind of get a different take from like the photos to live performance as well?
So I feel like viewers at a gallery, I think they'll be more open-minded because it's kind of from an art perspective as well. It's kind of just what I'm expecting. But I think, and it's like, there's like the wall's broken. I don't know whether that's because it's so close as well, but they'll see more like personality with my movement. Hopefully it'll be a positive response, and because it's something different in a gallery space, like it's not just the art on the walls or like the video, it's something real. So I hope they'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that'll be a great contrast between, you know, like the 2D works that are on the wall, both yours and Siena's, and she's got the film, and, you know, creating like a real atmosphere through that and the sound, and then there'll be like the live performance, which I think will add like a great deal of, especially that's all to do with kind of the female body. You know, you've got all these like the statues, the 2D images, and then like the real body. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be
it creates a lot of layers. It all adds to each other.
Your research focuses on capturing and maintaining the audience's attention. How have you approached this through your own performance?
So during the photo shoot, I've worked on intention behind the movement, and a lot of it comes from like the eyes intentionally and knowing what you want to get out of the movement. So it's making it real and trying not to make for me personally, trying not to let the viewer put me off. So the first stage was the photographer behind the camera, and I'm yet to discover how the audience will make me feel, but I'll just have to get into the character and like put on a different feel, like Beyonce does, you know, different alter ego. That's what I'm getting at, different alter ego. So that won't affect it. But you've got to really make the movement mean something, and you're doing it for a purpose. With the photo shoot, I found that taking the eyeline away from the camera, looking at my own body, and then going back to the camera made it more powerful and stronger. And it's quite suggestive as well, like bringing the focus to my body and then looking back with intention.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of like pointing with your eyes almost at where you want them to look. What creators have you currently been following? Have you discovered anyone like new over lockdown? Like what's been keeping you going creatively over this period?
Okay, so I follow a lot of dancers on Instagram, so those in training and like professional, those I aspire to be. There's a name, Christina Olsen, who I took her class at base, and I've also been in one of her dance pieces when I was at LUVA. I love her work, and she also plays around with power too, and she has a lot of intention with her eyes when she, in her choreography, when she teaches it as well, she implements that power within you. And she has strong, like powerful positions, which kind of link to Fossey as well. Like a lot of her stances have the pelvis forward, and I think that's why her work is filled with power, because they're quite similar. Busby Berkeley is a name that I learned and discovered in lockdown whilst researching Fossey. So he was a choreographer around the same time, and he would do like military style group formations with like half naked women, and it would have like sexually charged excitement on stage. And he would create a lot of like kaleidoscope patterns with women's legs, so they'd all like be arranged and choreographed, so they make different patterns, and it's just with their bare legs and like heels, which was quite suggestive as well. I found that quite interesting. That was new. And Antone Gartha, can't pronounce his name, is a new name for me since lockdown as well. He also deals with, so he's a French artist that deals with like real subjects such as like sex and addiction as well. So obviously similar topic. And some of what I like about his works is some of the photos placed together as individual shots, all some like impact on the bigger picture. And that's like inspired me with my exhibition work to have all the smaller photos together and the little nuances of movement all impact on the outer look.
Yeah, almost like video stills, like when it was shot in film, kind of like that slight trying to
like
in action in a single photo, I guess, can be quite hard. So I think you can see like a real movement through his work and through yours as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, thank you very much.
Thanks, I'm very excited for it.